Hey, this is Rashad Zaheem Williams, BOE, 20th of May, Career Reflection. For introductions, I did mechanical and environmental engineering. It's pretty much making like safe fuel sources for automotive. What I want to do when I mix them together, environmental and mechanical engineering, is making safe fuel sources like hydrogen, electricity, biofuel, ionic, and all kinds of other stuff for automotive industries and aircraft industries like Lockheed Martin, Ford, and all of them. And the aspects of environmental engineering, the best aspects that I found was that you get to go and serve the environment, help the environment, which is a reward of its own. And you get to work beside natural resources like lakes and rivers and ponds and waterfalls and everything, just observing the beauty of the world. And you get to work with smart people, and it's not as much math as it is for like stuff like aeronautics and stuff like that. One of the worst aspects I found is writing reports to bosses and less pay, which is, I already know I hate writing reports and stuff. So I know that's going to be a huge long term bad thing for me. Okay. Aspects of mechanical engineering, the best aspects is that there are always a need. There's so many subfields that you can go into. I'm going into automotive and aircraft. I also want to go into mechatronics too. It's also like a subfield of that, and the pay is super high potentially, and you can work all kinds of places like deep sea, oil rigs, forests, impoverished nations, all kinds of places that you can help. And it's also like a really respected. Like you can go home and tell your parents that I am a mechanical engineer, and or you can tell your wife's dad that you're a mechanical engineer, and they'll respect you for it. It's a very respectable job. And the worst aspects is it's extremely competitive. So you got to be the best in your class to just to get recognized. And because there's so many of them, everybody wants to be a mechanical engineer because there's so many things you can do. So it's like everybody. So it's just competitive, and promotions are also really performance based. So you have to keep on putting your performance in, just showing them how good you are in order to get a promotion. And other jobs is different, but this job is really performance based. And there's a lot of subfields to choose from, which is a good thing, but also it might be overwhelming at some points. And there's also extreme pressure on projects. To like, if you got like a project with a lot of money in it, then you don't want to, you don't want to make it terrible. You don't want to, because you wasting at that point the company's money and like your time and in that turn your money now because they're going to deduct it from your pay. Something I learned from the interview, I learned that it really feels good with helping the environment, and and it also feels really good when you get to see your project come to life. You get to see how it works and all that time you spent on it. Like the Mr. Chalmers, the guy that I interviewed, he said that like when you see that you're helping the environment and that, or like a project that you do, um, turns out great. It's like seeing your son graduate again, or seeing your daughter get married, or your son get married, or it's like something you put so much time into and it finally got right. And that's how it is. That's what I learned, is that that's the most important part. Skills you need to learn about biology, geography, and related fields of of like environmental engineering, and of course you need the basic engineering fields. Like you gotta know how fluid dynamics and everything, so that you can figure out how like reservoirs and all that kind of stuff where that you'll be working with. And then mechanical engineering, you're gonna need to know all the most of the subfields and wiring and everything, and how like all kinds of stuff, because there's so many subfields in mechanical engineering that there's just no way you can just get everything out of one course. You have to go to multiple courses. And big challenges for environmental engineering, from environmental engineers, is finding new ways to solve new problems. Because environmental engineers, there's always a new problem, like new sanitation problem, new environmental problem that you have to work with. And most of the times, the old methods cannot and will not be able to solve the new problem. So you have to make new problems on the fly. Gotta research old problems, of course, and you have to modify it from scratch. And for mechanical engineering, it's totally different. just trying to get into the field, because the field is so overpopulated with people that you have to work extremely hard just to get into it. After that, I mean, you have a job. If you find a good job, you're set for life, really, because it pays good and everybody needs one. And they don't want to let you go because you're in high demand or low demand too. Demand for environmental engineering is very high because many people don't go into it. It's not a very big field, so like you need people if it's not many people there. But for mechanical engineering, it's low because there's so many people to choose from. Now, it's there's never a shortage of jobs though, because there's always a need for them. But there's so many of them that it equals out. But for environmental engineering, there's not many people that's going into that field. So when you do that, they like people just don't want to go there. People want to go to aeronautics or robotics or civil. They don't want to go into helping the environment most of the time. So it's very high demand. Similar careers for mechanical, there's aerospace, electrical, civil, chemical, and like all the big ones. Like the big ones will have that, and they all have like huge subfields, and most of them overlap into each other. So like you can't learn mechanical without learning a bit of electrical, civil, chemical, aerospace. You need to learn all those. And for environmental, there's ocean, biochemical, agricultural, because they're all related to environment. Like ocean is, they're all environmental, and so they're all helping it. So I feel like you should know about all those so you can get into environmental too. Conclusion, I learned that it's not about money. It's about how you feel in the field. It's about you how you impact the world, how the world can remember you. That's how you need to look at it, not from a monetary base, but from a impactful base. And that's my presentation. Thank you.